Hey guys, welcome back to the Pizza Story podcast. I have a really cool guest today, Tyrell Reed. He is the host of the Pizza King podcast. So, Tyrell, thank you so much for joining us.
No, thank you for having me. This is cool.
Yeah, of course. I want to hear about everything, but let's start at the beginning let's hear a little bit about you.
Well, my name is Tyrell Reed. Like you said, host of Pizza King podcast. I am a franchise owner of here in Tampa, Florida, West Shore Pizza franchise. I have been in this system and in the pizza business for the last 23 years. So, really just a pizza guy. I just decided to start the podcast as a way to talk about some of my experience and some of the things that I've been working on. But I'm a pizza guy. I'm a fan of the art. I love to eat pizza. I love just enjoying pizza from every different shop. I like to visit pizzerias, which is kind of the reason that I got into the podcast game and into the content creation partly. But I have been in and around pizza. I started making pizza about 23 years ago. Became a franchise owner sometime shortly after that, and it's just been a part of my everyday life ever since.
That's awesome. So, where did you grow up?
I grew up in Michigan, Lansing, Michigan.
Nice. And can you tell me a little bit about like what your pizza experience as a kid?
Pizza for me as a kid was really about a couple of different places. I grew up on a street where we had like a little party store down at the end of the block, and they sold slices. It was, kind of like a neighborhood convenience store, and we would gather up whatever we could do to get $1.50, $1.75 to get a slice and a soda or a pop, we called it in Michigan, get a slice and a pop. So that's kind of where I started eating from a place called Corey's Bar. And there's a bunch of chains in Michigan. I always tell folks Michigan's kind of like, to me, the home of the pizza chain. So there's all of the Domino's and the Papa John's and Pizza Huts and all those guys that are, from around there. Little Caesars actually where I started my first pizza job. But pizza was all about getting that slice from Corey's Pizza. It's like a block away from my house.
That's awesome. So then, you're in Michigan and you're falling in love with pizza. And then how did this go from just loving pizza, eating pizza, to going to be a franchise owner of a pizzeria or pizzerias?
Totally by accident, and probably more so because somebody believed in me. I didn't know that I was falling in love with pizza. I just knew that was kind of my cheat meal. I grew up in a house with my grandparents, and my grandmother, we did not eat out. She cooked meals every single day. If we went out, it was, as a family, we would go to like a buffet or something like that. But pizza wasn't part of our normal routine as a family. So it was always kind of like this indulgence for me. And that probably started, my love and passion for pizza. I started my job at Little Caesars. I was an assistant manager, and what they don't tell you is that Little Caesars, everyone's an assistant manager.
Hmm.
Everybody starts there, and you come in and you're a manager. But what I really did was wash dishes and do prep.
Okay.
But I had a lot of fun just learning how to make pizza, learning, and how to, distribute toppings and take orders and interact with guests and work as a team and, just getting a feel for just being in the restaurant business. I grew up in a barbershop environment, so that was always a lot of fun. But once I got into the restaurant, I was able to just be myself and be part of a family, be part of a team, and I never looked back from there.
That's so awesome. So funny enough, so I grew up in pizzeria. My grandfather opened up his pizzeria in 1960. Our whole family worked there, but one winter I worked at a ski resort and it was a Little Caesars. So I worked at Little Caesars too, just like you did.
That we're connected, Little Caesars.
That's right. I don't tell a lot of people that because it's like kind of against my family's pizzeria, but I definitely worked there for a season.
It was fun. You just got to create your own deal there.
Yeah. Yeah. Breadsticks are good.
Yeah, exactly. But once I moved to Florida, I was in school and looking for a job, and there was a pizzeria in the plaza across from where the community that I was living in, and I thought it was just a little mom and pop shop. They had a pizza box in the window that said they were hiring, and I popped in and said, "Look, I was a manager at Little Caesars back in Michigan," and so they gave me a shot, taught me how to make pizza. And I've been with West Shore Pizza ever since that day. That was
Wow.
March 2003, excuse me, March 2003. Uh, I'm grateful for that experience because I met some of the people that have become lifelong friends and family, and started a business, became a franchise owner, bought that franchise that I worked in for a while, and it's just been a hell of a ride since then.
There's like a whole community to pizza, isn't there?
I love the pizza community because everyone looks out for each other. You would think it's super competitive because there's so many pizzerias, but there's so many different styles and so many different, just variations of pizzas. It becomes, I'm a fan. Yeah, I'm a fan of it, and everyone's so supportive. I love the pizza industry.
Yeah, me too. I like to eat pizza. I'm a big fan. I noticed since I started doing the podcast, people reach out and they're so willing to help and they help each other. And it's just like a really nice community to be a part of.
Absolutely. And you get out to the shows and the competitions, and it becomes, just that expo a couple of weeks ago, and it's like, this family reunion, even more so than, getting together and looking at what piece of equipment we're probably not going to buy. It's more about just seeing all my friends.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell me about how you launched your pizza podcast.
Pizza King podcast for me started as just a way to get some content that I've been working on out. I've been doing some consultations with Bruce Irving from Smart Pizza Marketing, and I've been working on some coaching programs and some content for the managers in my stores. I was working a corporate job at the time, traveling Monday through Friday, and I needed a way to really just keep my managers on task and, keep their thought processes in line with where I was thinking. So I had an email course that I put together for my GMs. And, Bruce had seen some of the content. He goes, man, you should do a podcast and just get it out there, just get your content on video or do something, do it in the way of a podcast or whatever it is. And I started it, and here we are 41, 42 episodes later, and I can't stop it now. I love it.
I love it. I respect that so much. Like being a new podcaster, I think sometimes people underestimate the amount of work that it really takes to do a podcast.
Oh my goodness, it's every week a learning
Yeah,
experience for me
me too.
trying to perfect the quality of the podcast, trying to, be a good host and have good topics. It became more than what I was expecting when I started, but at this point I can't see not doing the podcast. I really do enjoy it, and because of interactions like this, I get to meet so many more people as a result of it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So tell me about one of your favorite episodes of your podcast.
Favorite episodes, I would say I've had so many great guests, folks from my good friend Bob Protexter out in Oklahoma. Mike Bausch came on. That was such a just a blessing for him to reach out and come on and share his story and his program on the podcast. Pizza King of Texas, my guy Dodie over there. A lot of good fun with that one. But I think my favorite, there was an episode I did with my kids, and we're just kind of doing some questions back and forth. And I asked the kids, what's your favorite pizza? Fully expecting them to say West Shore Pizza, the pizza that pays for everything in your life. But no, he said, my son Dallas said his favorite pizza was Papa John's. And I'm like, we all look at him. I got three sons, and we all look at him like, dude, have you ever even had Papa John's? And he goes, no, I think I had it at school once. He's never even had Papa John's. But it's a boys' house where it's so competitive here. He was not going to let me get that win. So he needed to say anything, any pizza competitor he could think of to make sure that he didn't say West Shore Pizza on that episode. But a lot of fun with the kids. I love bringing the kids on and interacting with them because they're nothing scripted with them.
Yeah, I feel the same way you do. I have, young nieces and nephews and there's no filter and I really enjoy that.
Yeah, so they keep me on my toes, and we have a lot of fun. Now they've gotten to the point where they don't want me to record them. They don't want to be on film. They don't want to be a part of any of this because they know that I'm just going to post it.
Yeah, yeah, I totally understand that. Yeah, I have one that's a teenager and she's not necessarily interested in being on the podcast.
Sometimes you just got to do it without them knowing.
Yeah, that's
Just set
exactly
up set
right.
up a camera, start talking, and then find a way to make some content out of it later.
Yep, yep, see the reaction. So tell me what your favorite kind of pizza is.
Favorite kind of pizza. So I've been making New York style pizza for the last 20 years, and I love New York style pizza. I could eat it every day.
Me too.
But for about the last year, I've been just experimenting with different dough types, and I've really fallen in love with just Detroit style and pan pizza. It's been, you can't eat a lot of it, but it is so good. It's so delicious.
Yeah, it's so delicious. Now, do you have a favorite pizza topping?
Favorite pizza topping. So my go to toppings are pepperoni, pineapple, and banana pepper. That's like my pizza.
So it's like a sweet, spicy pizza,
Is
salty, spicy.
exactly.
That sounds good. So my next question was, does pineapple belong on pizza? But you just answered
Absolutely.
it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We sell so much pineapple. I know that's like a huge debate in the pizza world, but the
Yeah,
customers do not care. They are ordering pineapple on pizza all the time.
it's definitely a controversial question in the pizza world.
Yeah. But at our shop we do it, and we don't actually have one pizza that actually come well, I got two pizzas. I have a Hawaiian that's ham and pineapple, but we do a Jamaican jerk pizza that's grilled
Mm,
chicken, Jamaican jerk sauce with pineapple and jalapeno peppers, and that's a really good pizza too.
yeah, it sounds so good. So what's your best seller?
Bestseller, cheese pizza.
Yeah.
Cheese pizza is, we get crazy, and I kind of did a whole run a couple of summers ago where we were just creating any kind of pizza we could think of, or whatever the commenters were throwing out there for us to make. But at the end of the day, all we really sold were cheese and pepperoni pizzas. That's what, everyone goes back to what the safe zone.
Yeah, I feel like when a pizza's good, you can have the same cheese and pepperoni pizza like 100 times and you don't get sick of it.
Well, I think that's the measure of a good pizza. Is if your cheese pizza is good, then you have good pizza, because the toppings only enhance. They don't make the pizza.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly right. So tell me, what does the future hold for the podcast?
Future for the podcast, more guests. I'd love to get outside of my office here, and get out and get on site and visit some stores, really do some live, some more live interviews and interactions with pizzeria owners out there, and folks in and around the pizza industry, not just pizza makers, but even if they're vendors or supporters or just pizza lovers that want to come on and have a chat about pizza with me. I'm always open for that. I lose you?
Yeah, for a second, hang
Oh,
on.
there
I'm
you go.
just gonna
Yeah,
let it come back.
let it catch up. Here we go. All
Yeah,
right,
I'm
there it goes.
sorry about the. I don't know if it's the platform, but I'm sorry. It usually is a lot better than this. It usually is pretty good.
Yeah, I use Riverside too, and it's usually spot on. It could be my connection.
See, I've closed pretty much all the tabs too, just to make sure that I'm not using up a bunch of bandwidth on my end.
This is what happened to me. I tried to record once from the store, and I kept having connection issues, and it turned into just a total mess. And I decided I couldn't do it away from the house after that.
All right, I'm gonna wait till you come back through here. I'm just gonna stop it for another minute.
I've reconnected now.
Okay, good. So my next question is for anyone who wants to get into the pizza industry, what is the advice that you have for them?
Go work for someone who's already doing it. Go work in a shop, learn the style of pizza you want to make. There's so many great operators out there that they'll teach you. I mean, and you said it yourself, the pizza industry is so wide open and so transparent. There's so many things happening. Go learn from somebody that you admire, and does the style of pizza you want to do. Go work there. Go learn what it takes, because making pizza and running a pizza business are two totally different things. But when you get a chance to do it, go run someone's shop or help someone run their shop and really learn from the inside out.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly right. And what's one thing that you know now that you wish you knew when you started?
One thing I know now that I wish I knew when I started, that I wish I'd been more collaborative in the beginning. I wish I'd spent more time just engaging and learning more from the community. We were in our bubble, and we were doing what we did, but we didn't spend a whole lot of time understanding. We did competitive analysis, but we didn't really get to know who our neighbors were, and who our neighboring pizzerias were, and the style of pizzas that they did. I wish we'd done more to just expand our reach and expand our understanding of the pizza game.
Yeah, I can definitely understand that. Now, where can someone find you guys?
You can find the pizza shop at westshorepizza.com. You can always find me at pizzakingpodcast.com or tyrellreed.com. We're on all of the social media channels as well. Tyrell Reed Senior or Pizza King Podcast.
Perfect. So, guys, I want you to go and follow them. The Instagram handle is Tyrell Reed Senior, Tyrellreedsr. Pizza King Podcast is the other handle. West Shore, I think, is pretty well known. We're in the Tampa Bay area, and there's a lot of West Shores around, so that's one I think people can run into pretty easily.
Yeah. If you're in Tampa, you probably know West Shore. You can find West Shore.
Yeah, 100%. All right, Tyrell, thank you so much for being a guest on the podcast.
Thank you. I appreciate it.